Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the West Ham Network. Sorry I'm late. Work comes first, as usual. Otherwise, I can't do this because I won't earn any money. And do forgive me if I look a bit weird because I've got two black eyes. Played football last night and got hit of all the places right on that big nose, as if I needed it to be any bigger. So I'm bruised, two black eyes, but I'm alive and well and kicking, and it proves that I shouldn't be playing football at my age anymore. So, what's the show about? Well, quite clearly, thanks to Russ earlier on for giving you an update on all the varying transfer rumours that are knocking around. But if we don't buy anyone, do we have enough depth in strength, in the squad, in the academy squad, to start filling one or two roles? It's quite possible. I've been waxing lyrical for God knows how long now about our youth academy, about how many really decent players that we've actually got in the academy, and it's absolutely fantastic to see that David Moyes has taken out 4 academy players to Vienna. Now, everyone will say, "Well, of course, why not Vienna? It's not an important game, etc." But none, it's still important for development. It's still important. We need to get at least a point to make sure that we secure that top spot in that group. So in that respect, it's definitely important. But also, it's going to be an absolutely fantastic opportunity for West Ham United to start seeing what our youth development is all about. Because look, we know that people are talking about we need a striker, we need strength in depth, etc., etc. Not denying it, we do. But is this like I've said about God knows how many times over the past few weeks, is this a fantastic opportunity now for West Ham, for some of the young players to stake a claim in that first team squad? So I'm going to go through each player. They're not new to you because I've talked about them. I've talked about some of them a lot more often than I have others. But we're going to go through them, and then we're going to sort of look at, where do they fit, and whether any of them actually get to start the game, or whether they all at some point throughout the game against Vienna at some point maybe look at coming on. So let's start with the first player then. Go into our list. And that is a player. Well, actually, before I do that, I know that people are going to sort of argue, and it's a strong argument, and they're going to say, well, David Moyes, he's experimented with youngsters before, hasn't he, at West Ham? It hasn't quite worked out. But I think it shows the versatility of David Moyes to actually turn around and say, do I have anything available to me? If you remember last season, for example, when Sebastian Haller left, oh, by the way, who's he? Oh, yeah, the top goal scorer in the Champions League or something. He's broken another record, but hey, he's no good for us. But anyway, that aside, when Sebastian Haller left, there was a player that sort of looked like it was coming through, and we kind of put a lot of pressure on the young boy's head. And that was Mipo Odebeko, who's now on loan at Huddersfield. But I think there was a lot of expectation. David Moyes had faith in him to bring him into the first team squad. And I think there was a lot of expectation on the young player to sort of hit the ground running. Not every player does. Now, let me, qualify this. With the players I'm going to talk about throughout this show, not every player will come through. Not every player will become maybe a top class player for West Ham. They might have to go elsewhere and further their careers. Declan did it when he was at Chelsea. He had to go elsewhere to prove just how good he was. So Odebeko, who's at Huddersfield, he's not having a great time there, but it kind of showed what David Moyes was thinking when he took the reins the second time round. He's not afraid to go into the academy squad and say, Do you look ready? We'll give you an opportunity. And he's done that with a couple of our youngsters this season as well. So the first player is someone I've spoken about so many times before, and that's the young central defender. Um, Jamal Baptiste. You know, Baptiste is 18 years of age. I'm not sure how many people know this, but over the past season and a half, Baptiste has been in 10 senior squads already. Okay, five times in the Premier League, once in this season's Carabao Cup, two in the Europa League, and two in last season's FA Cup, where in one of those games he made his senior debut with a 4-0 win over Doncaster, where he had something like a 7-minute cameo role at the end of the game. He's been with West Ham since the age of around 7, broke into the under 23 squad at the age of 15, which demonstrates that he is considered to be mature enough to be able to handle the pressure of higher level football. Baptiste has also represented the England youth levels all the way up to under 19 level. Now, look, with Angelo Ogbonna out for the rest of the season, and with a considerable amount of time left this season between now and the transfer window, could he be the one that could stake a claim in the first team squad? Could he be the one that might break through? And I just wonder whether he might even start tonight. I mean, it would be a tall order, but he's so highly considered at West Ham United. David Moyes himself has said, I want him to be around the first team squad as often as possible, and it's quite likely that I know we're going to sort of, I think we've spoken about maybe the French triangle tonight: Areola in goal, Zuma and Diop in central defence. But I just wonder if Moyes might think this player actually might be ready enough, good enough to start. I know, a player has got to start their senior career at some stage. Yeah, and given what's going on with the Europa League, if we don't win tonight, it's not the end of the world, because if we don't win, then we've got it all to do, in the final game against Zagreb at home. So we only kind of need a point out of these two Europa games to actually probably get top place. We need a win to make sure, but a point could probably do it. And maybe, just maybe, Moyes might be thinking, well, I've got a lot of games coming up. There's a hell of a lot of games. Our fixture pile up, etc., etc. He needs to rest players, and I just wonder, because he's going to also have a mind on who's going to play in the game against Man City on Sunday. And he might be thinking, well, if I can rest if I can rest Zuma and Dawson, or Zuma and Diop, so that they're ready for the Sunday game, then there's a place available in the starting lineup for maybe Jamal Baptiste. I don't know. It's an interesting prospect. It wouldn't surprise me, people, if that's what happened. Next up, Ajibola Alese. Fantastic. I mean, I've been talking about. I can't remember which way round it was. A couple of seasons ago, pre-season, Anton was watching one game. I was watching another pre-season friendly. Alese was playing in one. Jamal Baptiste was playing in the other, and we both got raving about, God, this youngster's great. And I'm like, yeah, this youngster's great. And he was talking about one of them. I was talking about the other, and they both look like absolute dynamite prospects. Jamal Baptiste, but Ajibola Alese. Now, Alese is the captain of the under 23 teams, central defender, but also, and here's the interesting thing: what I didn't realise until pre-season, this pre-season, was that Alese could also play as a left back. He started quite a few games in the left back role. Strong central defender, great leadership skills. He's had some modest experience at Cambridge out on loan. Only made a couple of appearances for them. And he got his senior debut in the Carabao Cup against Hull, where we won 5-1 last season. Under 18s appearances, 18 for the under 18s, 45 under 23 appearances. He's been in the senior squad 3 times already this season. And, so they kind of go unnoticed, or you kind of forget about them. And, oh, yeah, Alese is on the bench, but then because he doesn't play, a bit like Baptiste. But I didn't realise Baptiste was on the bench for the senior team 10 times. I didn't realise that. And he's represented England all the way up to England under 20 level. Now, look. we're crying out for someone to cover for Creswell. And we've talked about, there's a possibility that Masuaku can play there. There's a possibility that Ben Johnson can go back over there, but there's also the possibility that Ajibola Elese can go there as well. Now Creswell, I mean, he's become Mr. Invincible this season. He's played every game, and usually by this time he's picked up a knock or something like that, and then we're screaming out for cover at left back. Elese, could he? Who knows? It's another prospect. It's another possibility that Elese could be the type of player that could come in and fill a gap there. Now, look, let's not forget. I'm not saying that all these players are going to start tonight, but Moyes has got 5 subs to use tonight, and he could use all of them, and he could play all 4 of these youngsters that are coming up. So next up, well, we've seen him already this season, haven't we? Daniel Chesters. He's touted to be the next Joe Cole. Very, very talented attacking midfielder. Um, he can play across most of the central attacking midfield roles. Um, he also made his debut for the under-23s at the age of 15, just like Jamal Baptiste did. He had his senior appearance this season in the Europa League game at home against Genk, but he's also been in the squad 3 times as well, the senior squad. And under 18s appearances, 24, 2 goals, 5 assists, modest. Under 23 appearances, 41, 2 goals, 7 assists. But it's the way he unlocked. Look at that, 7 assists, 5 assists the previous season. It's the way he unlocks defenses that would be quite interesting for West Ham. And sometimes when we need an alternative up front, maybe he's the sort of player that could come on, give us that attacking prowess and then push someone else further forward. I don't know, like Vlasic or Bowen or whoever may start. So another very interesting prospect. Will he start? I mean, of the 4 that we've got here, you could say of the 4, he might be the luxury player. But I'll explain that when I'm done with the last player, because this one we all know Antonio's been left at home, and in comes Sonny Perkins. He's a striker, left-sided attacking midfielder, but he's been a striker this season. He's netted. Look at this. He netted a hat trick for his debut for the England under-16s. He netted a hat trick in his first game this season for the under-18s. His career stats: 2020-21, a modest for the under-18s, 26 appearances. A modest 5 goals and 3 assists, but it's this season where he's become to really flourish. A combination of under-18s and under-23s appearances, 14, 9 goals already. And his under-18 appearances for England, 5 appearances, 2 goals. He's a prospect and he's shining this season. And Antonio's at home, and people are going, we need a striker. Yeah, well, Steve Tiley, are you watching? There's your striker, mate. Look, let me please re-clarify. I'm not suggesting for a minute that all 4 of these players will walk into the first team tonight. But I am suggesting that we could see all or most of them as subs tonight. Now, I said that of the 4, that maybe Chester's is maybe the luxury, and I'll explain again why. Baptiste, Moyes is thinking about all the games that are coming up. Why not give him a taste? Why not put him in the team tonight and say, show me what you can do. Demonstrate to me that you're worthy of being that 4th choice centre back in the senior squad, at least between now and the start of the January transfer window. Because if Baptiste has a really good game tonight, there's no saying that he won't play again against Zagreb, and there's no saying that if needed for any of the games coming up in the Premier League, if he proves himself, there's no reason to say that he wouldn't be able to claim that stake, that 4th place, that 4th place central defensive role. Again, Jibola Elese, we keep, as I've said already, we keep crying out for a left-sided defender, a left back, cover for left back. Again, why not? Who's to say? Why not? Because that gives flexibility. That means Johnson can keep competing with Soufal on the right-hand side instead of having to move him over to the left. Let's not forget, Johnson He played quite a few games at the age of 19 as left back when it's not his natural role. As Yabola Olise is 20, maybe it's his time as well. So there was a lot of sense made there as well. And of course, Perkins, that makes sense too, because Antonio is has not been taken to Vienna, and Perkins. I mean, I can see him coming on. I can see the lad scoring a goal tonight. I mean, it could be a dream start for him, couldn't he? So those are the three that I would say are kind of nailed on. That's why I'm suggesting that maybe of the four in total, maybe Chester's is a bit of a luxury, but still a role for him to play. Now, there's one other youngster that I thought maybe would be called up, and that's Armstrong Oko Flex. He's having a storming season at the moment. As we all know, he joined West Ham from Celtic. He actually made a couple of senior appearances for Celtic, but West Ham came calling, and at 19 years of age, he is also demonstrating how capable he is. 13 appearances for the under 23s, 8 goals, 1 assist. He's made appearances for the England under 16s, but he's nailed his colours to the mast, and he's decided that he will be representing the Republic of Ireland, and he was recently called up for the under 21s as well. Another player that I actually thought maybe of all the youngsters at the moment, maybe he might be the one that could break through. Isn't it fantastic? Seriously, it's absolutely amazing that we have so many youngsters breaking through, so many youngsters that we brought into the team from other teams. There are others as well. There are other players as well where we brought in, and we got and then too many to mention, but if you live near where West Ham under 23s play, it's certainly worth your while getting a ticket or two to go and watch them play, because they're fantastic. Now, with regards to what's going on with the club, Kretinsky has made a statement. He's been interviewed, and Kretinsky himself has talked about, improving the squad. I'm trying to find the story, so do forgive me because it was there a minute ago. Kretinsky has talked about improving the squad and so on. But even he has talked also about the youth squad, the development. He said it's not just about, sort of improving players, etc., at senior level. It's also looking at, the club structure. He talked about reducing the long term debt, introducing the capability of bringing in more income for the transfer market, etc. And but he also talked about focusing on not just the senior squad, but on the academy as well. Um, Again, he said the world-renowned academy was a great attraction of West Ham. He said that working with the young players, as well as engagement with local communities and other social initiatives, are integral to football today. So he's not going to come in and splash his cash just for, like, as everybody wants, 50 million, 40 million pound players. He's also backing the academy. He's also talking about, how we need to make sure that the academy is part of the success and part of obviously the future of West Ham United. Because if the academy players do well, that saves the club millions in having to go out and buy players in the transfer market. We talk about, the young lad from Sparta Prague, Adam Hlosek. Everyone's saying it makes sense. We go out and buy him. He's 19 years of age. He's the future. He's the future. Well, yeah, but it might also make sense that Sonny Perkins, at the age of 17, might also be the future. So why is someone good enough if they're playing for a foreign team, but why don't we see our own youngsters in the same light? It's going to be interesting. The game against Rapid Vienna tonight is going to be interesting for more reasons than just one. I mean, more reasons than just qualifying. 1 point will probably do it, get us top place in that group and going through to the qualifiers. There's some big teams coming down. People, get get your passports ready for our visit to Barcelona. Yeah, it's going to happen, isn't it? But seriously, there's some big teams coming down, and we need to be fresh and ready. And these youngsters could play a massive role, not just in the European game tonight, but also leading up to the transfer window, and maybe, as I keep saying, beyond the transfer window. If any of these players prove their worth, That's one not taken off the list that we have to get of players that we have to get in the transfer window. Everybody's saying we need a left back, we need a striker, we need and now we need a centre back. And so on, and we haven't got enough on the bench for attacking midfield. Look at what all these players tick those boxes. We need a left back. Then why not get a Lacey? We need a centre back. Then why not give Baptiste a chance? We need a striker. Then well, there's your player, Sonny Perkins. And we need more in attacking midfield. Well, maybe that's Dan Chester's. You can see what Moyes has done. He's gone. I hear you. I know it as well. I'm no mug. I know these are the areas we need to address. Let's give these boys a chance to see what they're capable of doing. Let's give these youngsters a chance to prove that I don't have to dip into the transfer market in January, that I've actually got ready-made answers there in the academy squad. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to see how they fare. I'll go back to what I said at the beginning. Not every player is going to be successful, but boy, oh boy, imagine if they did. 4 players. And there was one famous saying a long time ago: you can't win anything with kids. And look what happened there for a Man United squad full of youngsters. Why not for us as well? They're talented, they're great, they're prospects. If we're talking about getting youngsters from other teams, well, let's give our youngsters a chance. Right, let's finish off to see who's in the chat, because I've ranted for long enough. And, as I usually do, I'll scroll all the way to the top and see who's there. Let me get this out of the way, so it's easier for me to do that. Get rid of that. Right, let's go all the way to the top and see who's in the chat today before I go and leave you to the rest of your day. Apologies, yeah, someone was apologizing for me, but Doctor, good afternoon. 2 streams in and out. I know, and get ready for later on when we have the watch along and then the review. I mean, 4 shows in a day, fantastic. Hamaret, how are you? Glad you can join. I hope you're well. Shamze, Viva Ben Rama Algeri. A Ben Rama fan. Welcome, Shamze. Thank you for joining us. In Porstel, everyone says, I know, mate. Look at that. 2 fucking blackouts. Damn it. It's only 2 o'clock. Shouldn't be swearing, but yeah, mate, I tell you, it hurts. And my nose doesn't need to be any bigger than it already is. Hamaret, you look like a typical West Ham fan now with the bruises. Udaraja, good afternoon from you, or good evening to you from India. Welcome, mate. Thank you for joining us. Much appreciated. Very, very welcome. Here he is, Mr. Tiley, Mr. Happy himself. Father Snow, point is not correct still. If Dynamo win their 2 games, 1 point is 11. If they win their 2 games, but mate, they're the worst of the bad bunch, aren't they? DJ Russ, oi, you should be aye. And a great show earlier about all the transfers. Robert, good afternoon to you. Yeah, she's all hard. She doesn't care. Rob, hello, mate. Let's get a win and bring back the buzzing feeling. Absolutely. Come on, then. Name your starting 11. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Actually, why don't we do this? I know it's not the best, but you know what? I'm happy with it until Russ can give us the professional thing. Name your starting 11. So let's go in there. Let's bring that up. Yeah, that'll do. Can I share that? I can do that. Can I share it? Share screen. What we'll do near the end is we will name our starting 11 later on in the game. Okay, there it is. It's all ready. So we'll do that later. I know it's small. I'm sorry. I'm waiting for us to give us the professional version. So we'll do the name starting 11 later. Steve, don't play youngsters tonight. We need a result to cement top spot. Play them against Zagreb. Yeah. Well, that's fair play. I'm not suggesting that we will play all the youngsters, but I think that we'll probably see a few of them tonight. Kimbo, afternoon, everyone. Once again, afternoon to you. Robert, Stella, your eyes black and blue or claret and blue? Claret and blue. They sure are. It's still playing the OPA walking football, mate, almost. I shouldn't play against youngsters. I should know better. West Ham Network, of course, I'm right. Yeah, you sure are. Not. James, hello. The first lamppost to score 9 goals in his first 5 Champions League games. But hey, he's not good enough. He's rubbish. Steve, Stell loves Baptiste. I do. I think he's great. In fact, I love all these youngsters and more in addition to them as well. I was going about a new striker. Will Stell change the record? Well, you start talking about defenders. I'll start talking about strikers. West Ham Network trust us when we say Baptiste and ready. They say, but not. They're ready, but not for tonight. Well, I don't know. My knowledge is vast. No, it's not, Steve. Chill, Steve. There's only one here that's always right. Oh, who's that then? John. Hello, mate. The only way to gain experience is to play. Inexperience, play, experience. Bang on. Udaraja. Have I said it right? Udaraja. Defense. Areola, Sufal, Dawson, Diop, Creswell. Areola, yes. Sufal, yes. I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. I know, playing a good team to make sure we get the win, but I think we might see a surprise. Steve, get a 2-goal lead, then bring a couple of youngsters on. Yeah, makes sense, Steve. We need to get the job done tonight, then blood the youngsters against Zagreb. I bet some of them will be blooded tonight. Midfield, Declan and Kral. I think midfield would be Noble and Kral. Robert, still, I think we have 10, 11-ish games before the window opens. Let's see what happens between now and then. But that's what I'm saying. We've got a lot of games. So, maybe this is an opportunity for some of these youngsters to actually demonstrate what they're capable of doing. Hammerette, I'd like to see Elise tonight get a win. And then the final game, we could have a few youngsters given a shot. I reckon if we win tonight, we'll probably be a team of all youngsters. Udaraja again, forward, Bowen, Lanzini, Fornals, Vlasic. I think we're going to see a few different. I just don't think there's going to be a lot of youngsters. I don't think there's going to be a lot of senior players playing tonight for some reason. Kent, Ipswich, and Wickham. Those were the 2 games. Absolutely, I can't remember which one I watched. I think I watched Wickham. Steve, on reflection, good point. Steve, correct. Steve Belker, wait till we're ahead, then maybe bring a youngster or two. I kind of do get that, and I do agree with that. But I just wonder if Moyes might chance it and play one of the youngsters from the start. Nick, all need loans. Can't rely upon unless genuinely world class, like Declan. Well, Declan wasn't considered world class when he started playing for us, which is Perkins and Baptiste. Give youngsters until about age 23. I think that's when it's too late, Nick. To be honest with you, we've had a lot of youngsters get to the age of about 22, 23, and they still haven't made it. And I think that's when it gets to be too late. I really do. I think if you're 18, 19, 20, and you can start breaking into the first team, I think that's great. Declan was 18 when he broke through. Johnson, what was he? 18, 19 as well. So I think it's too late when they get to that age, mate. I really do. Anton watched Elise, Stell watched Baptiste. Right, there you go. And I was the one. I mean, they're both just brilliant. It will be Zagreb, the game you will see youngsters depend on. I think it will be Zagreb, the game where you will see youngsters start. I think we're going to see a few youngsters coming on in this game. Like I say, I'm not sure that they'll start tonight, but I think you'll probably see a few of them coming on. Good morning to you, Gary. I hope you're well. Mark, we all know we're going to win tonight. Well, let's scroll down. Mishley, good afternoon to you. Let's scroll down. Mark, it doesn't matter about age. It doesn't matter about age. Baptiste, if he's good enough, he should play. Kind of what I'm thinking, Mark, as well. So do not be surprised and do not be worried if you actually see any of the youngsters start. Ken, Okoflex can't be picked under rules, I believe. I don't know about that, mate. Because unless he played for, you might be right. Unless he played for Celtic in any of the qualifiers, etc., before he moved to West Ham, then you might be right. Because I know what I understand is that West Ham United have to name a squad, obviously, for the Europa League, but then they can name a reserve squad. I think it's up to 11 young players who can come in as reserves. Now, whether Rocco Flex was part of that or not, I don't know. So you might have a good point there, mate. Maybe he played something in for Celtic in some sort of, or he was in the squad or whatever. I don't know. So you might be right. Steve, Mark, not in a game when we need to win the group, but granted, maybe against Zagreb. Well, don't be. I'm in two minds. I really am. Stuart, I may book in Premier Inn Manchester to sleep with Pep before Sunday to give him some lovable reverse psychology. Um, hmm. Mark, Oko flex over Yarmolenko any day of the week. This is what I'm thinking. My head is like spinning. Yarmolenko's not doing it, and we don't want to see Bowen play because we want to keep him fresh. We don't want to see Fornals play because we want to keep him fresh. I don't know. I'm really and Antonio's been left at home, so maybe Perkins might. I mean, my head's spinning. Jammy packs. You can't get under 23 games. Home games. It's a joke. Can you not? I thought you could. I thought you were able to. You might be right there. You can get games for the women's team. Scott, hello mate. Alese is ready to play first team. He's our second best centre back behind only Zuma. Mark my words. That's big words there. Jamie Pax. I tried to get tickets since I live near Eastbrook School, so it's close, but they don't sell under 23 games tickets. I'm really surprised. And you know what? When I think about it, when I look at the West Ham website, you're right. I never actually see under 23. Why not? I know some people have been to an under 23 game. I don't know if you can just turn up on the day, maybe. Possibly. Oh, only away. Well, that is shocking. That is a surprise. Robs, if we don't get these guys, if we don't give these guys a starting games like this, what hope have they got making the senior squad? Just airing my disapproval, the lack of trust for these guys. I'm with you, Robs, and Mark said it as well. You're absolutely right. If we don't give them an opportunity to demonstrate what they're capable of, when are they going to get the chance? And I understand the other chap said, about putting them out on loan and waiting until they're 23. I think it's too late. I think if they get to 23 and they haven't made the first team, it doesn't look like, you look at the history of the West Ham players that have gotten to 23 and then they've gone. They've moved on. So I agree. I agree. Scott, Steve has nailed it. Get the 3 points ensured and then throw the youngsters out. But see, difference of opinion, as to how you look at it. Steve, Rob, most lack of trust in them. I'm saying it's not lack of trust. I'm saying get to top spot tonight, then play them against Zagreb. Be winning comfortably and put them all on. Why not? Stuart, if the other game in the group is drawn tonight, then our game result won't matter. We win the group on goal difference. There you are, Stuart. Michelet, spot on. Gary, good shout. Steve, Storisdale, we do need to go to the market. I'm not gonna. This is about the youngsters. We do enough about transfers. Hammerette, getting through tonight with a strong squad will take pressure off the youngsters for the last game. So there's a balance here. People are saying blood them. Let's see what they're capable of doing. Others are saying no, it's too risky. I'm saying I'm mixed between the two. I can't decide either or, to be quite honest with you. But it won't surprise me if one or two youngsters starts tonight. I still reckon we should go for a regain January, Steve. Yeah, I think he's good. I like him. Let's scroll down. Funky T, good afternoon to you. Going to be a bit weird watching tonight's game with no fan. I know it's back to pre-lockdown, isn't it? Or lockdown, should I say? It's a shame, but at least it makes it even for us, because with our fans having been banned, it might have put more pressure on us, against the home team fans. So in that respect, at least it's good. And let's not forget, our players have played behind behind closed doors before, so it's nothing new to them. Steve, I'm happy still. Why would I not be? It's just my opinion. We need fresh blood in January. Well, we got 4 fresh youngsters ready to prove what they're capable of doing. Steve. Robs, I agree. Steve, I agree. But 15, 20 minutes at the end of the game wouldn't go amiss. Exactly. Exactly. You don't have to play I mean, we've got so many games coming up. If these youngsters can't prove what they're capable of, when are they going to prove it, as other people have said? Hammerette, Steve, you are male. Are you ever really happy? Oh, Steve. Well, I'll tell you what, Steve. Let's see what other people are saying. I understand I'm well and truly outnumbered here. For what? Kent, feed Allaire and he will score. Feed Allaire and he will score. We've been saying it for how long, Kent? But mate, he's not good enough for West Ham. There you go. GP, hi to you, mate. I hope you're well. Andrew Fielding, hello, mates. How are you? Declan was good enough at that age. Why not these guys? There you go. That's what's going on in my head. Declan was good enough. Why not these guys? Again, I reiterate, I'm not saying that they all break through. They may not. But Declan was good enough at that age. Why not this lot? Why not give the same fate to this lot? How do you know that this lot, let's say for argument's sake, if they all started, how do you know they can't do a job? What would we be saying? Let's say I know it won't happen, but what would we be saying as fans if all four started and we won tonight and we won handsomely, Perkins getting a brace or something like that? We'd be like creaming, we'd be like, oh my God, the future is here already, etc., etc. We'll be talking very, very differently about the whole situation. Tony, I would be very disappointed at least if one doesn't start tonight. Mate, my head is going, I mean, Moyes may not be that risky and play all four. Of course, he won't start with all four. Will he play one? It's very, very, very possible. And of the four, I think of the four, the one that could quite likely start is Baptiste, because I didn't, like I said earlier on in the show, didn't realise he was in 10. He's been in 10 senior squads already. And Moyes himself has said, I want to keep him around the first team squad as often as possible. I showed you the stats earlier. He played his first under 23 games at the age of 23. He is considered to be mature beyond his age. People are saying he is first team ready at 18. He's 18 now. It won't surprise me one bit. It won't surprise me one bit. GP, surely the young players should be breaking by 21. I think so too, GP. I think, at the age of 21, if you've not made it, you might not, and then you go to lower league teams. The Pablo, we would need to hire security for the stadium. What's that for, mate? I didn't understand. Sorry. Jamie, that's what I believe. Anyway, I was looking. Oh, right, you're talking about because of under 23 games. That's a shame. Jamie, that's what I believe. Anyway, I was looking around for under 23s, couldn't find any. But you're right. Maybe you can just turn up. It might be. I don't know. Kent, it's to do with homegrown thing and how long players have been at the club for development, i.e. the lad we got from Chelsea and Armstrong. Oh, Equa and Armstrong, because we brought them. Okay, mate. Thank you for that. I understand. Because I tell you what, Oko Flex, watch out for him as well. GP, Stel, why do these armchair supporters, Anton and Russ, mock you when you're older and go to the matches? Russ just doesn't count as going. That's a Mate, they mock me because they're jealous. That's why they mock me, because I do go to all the games. So there you go. Armchair supporters. What else have we got? Pat, the chat is ahead of me. How are you, mate? Because I started the video 15 minutes late. I think you caught up. But Dan, afternoon, Stel. My first live watch in a long while. West Ham 2-0 winners tonight. Welcome back, Dan. Thank you for watching, mate. Much appreciated. Gordon, when I get this cut. Did our fans get banned from our game? Did our fans get banned from a game they couldn't go anyway? Yes, Gordon. And it's good that they did get banned from it, because the ban would, if lockdown had come first, my understanding is then the ban would have carried over to the next game, which would have been the knockout stage. So in a way, it's a blessing in disguise, mate. It really, really is a blessing in disguise. Let's scroll down. Andrew, sounding old now, but remember Paul Allen Cup final 17? You're not old, mate, because I remember that. Well, I'm old. Yeah, absolutely. Occo Flex was born in Dublin. He was indeed. That's true. But maybe it's as Kent said about your buying players, etc. But anyway, right. That's it. Now let's try and get this going. I know I'm going to mess this up, but we'll try anyway. Let's get that down here. Let's make that smaller. So let's bring that in. Add to stream. Okay, people. Name your starting 11, because I tell you what, let's try and make that bigger somehow. Can I make that bigger? No, I can't. Why can't I make that bigger? I know why I can't. Can you see that? I hope you can see that. Hopefully you can see as much of the screen as possible. Let's go back in. Right, so I can't zoom in. You asking me to zoom in, but that's about as big as it will go. Yeah, I can't. So that, unfortunately, is as good as you're going to get, I'm afraid. So starting 11. Okay, we know that Areola is a dead cert. I think it will be Soufal. I think he will start. Um, Here's where I, I, I'm questioning whether it's going to be Dawson or Diop, and the reason why I'm questioning that is because whoever starts tonight won't start against Man City, and I've got a funny feeling that Diop will start against Man City, and therefore it'll be Dawson playing tonight. That's my funny feeling. And I could be totally wrong. And this is the bit that I'm questioning. I think Baptiste might start tonight. I really do. Over on the left side, I think Creswell will start. And here again is where I think it's different to what a lot of other people are saying. We know Antonio's not with the squad. We know Fabianski's not with the squad, so we can get them out of the way. I think in holding midfield, I think it will be Noble and Kroll. I don't think Declan and I don't think Souček will be started tonight because I think Moyes is going to want to keep them as fresh as possible for Sunday's game. Lanzini will start. My favourite Masuaku will start. Vlasic will start. And I think you'll see this man probably playing up front. It could be that he might start out left and Vlasic further forward, quite possibly, if I can get that going. Could be that. But I think it'll be Yarmolenko, just be a lump up front, and Vlasic on the right. That, I think, is going to be my starting lineup. Areola, Soufal, Dawson, Baptiste, Creswell, Kral, Noble, Lanzini, Masuaku, Vlasic, and Yarmolenko. And then, when we're winning handsomely, you bring this young lad on, Sonny Perkins, to play there. You give Lanzini a rest, bring Dan Chesters on, and you give Creswell a rest and give Ajibola Alese a run. Now, I'm not saying that will be the starting lineup, but boy, oh boy, what a statement that would be if that was the starting lineup. Now, everyone's going to say that's weak, we're going to lose, we're going to throw the game away, etc. I don't agree. I don't agree. I'm not thinking that's going to be the lineup, but I think at some point throughout the game, you might see all four youngsters on at the same time. Perkins up front, let's not forget. Antonio's not there. Chester's in central midfield. Alese on the left. Baptiste centre back. You could do. But like I said, I think the starting lineup is going to include Creswell at left back. I think it's going to include Lanzini. And I think it's going to include Yarmolenko. That is what I think is going to happen tonight as the starting lineup. That is what I think is going to happen. Yeah, because I think I think Souček, Declan, the only other player that can possibly start, the only other player out of those, if you don't want to start any of your, senior players that are going to start against Man City at the weekend, the only other player quite possibly could be Fredericks. We've seen him play on the left side, but mainly further forward. Or you could see this happening. You could see Soufal starting on the left and Fredericks on the right. Is that weak? Fredericks has been good until he got injured. Dawson has been solid apart from one or two ropey games. We know Soufal can start and he can do a job on the left. Mr. Dependable Mark Noble, we keep talking about seeing more of Kral, and I think this is where you get to see him. Masuaku's been on the fringes, so he needs to put in a good performance. Lanzini, is dependable. We need to see more of Vlasic, and if there's anywhere that Yarmolenko should play, it should be further up front. That could be the starting lineup tonight. Fredericks in there alongside Dawson. And the reason why I say Dawson is because I don't think Dawson will play on Sunday. I think this man will play on Sunday alongside Zuma. Now, I know a lot of people have been saying, well, we need to see the triangle. We need to see Zuma and Diop along just in front of Areola. Just might not be. It could be. It could be. It's going to be I think Moyes has given himself the option now by taking those four youngsters out there. I think he's given them the option of being able to dabble with the lineup tonight. Right, let's get that off. What have you guys been saying? So let's see if anyone else has commented. I'll scroll up as far up as I can. Saw that. Robin, just seen you on. Think we'll win tonight, but a little bit. I'm not nervous at all, Robin. I think we'll win, and I think we'll win pretty, not comfortably, but I think we'll win okay. Andrew, now I can see we're the same. We are the same age, probably. David, I picked the same team, but I put Ian Dowie up front with Paolo. One shot. Nick Lingard only started playing at 22 for United. Just different stages of development. 22 though, still right. I really, is Yarmo injured? No. Is he? I haven't been told, unless someone can update me. Let's scroll down. Kaiser, hello mate. I hope you're right about. I've said so many things. I don't know what I might be right or wrong about. Don't want to see Dex or potato salad tonight. Rest. I actually totally agree. Nick, only kids who have been here 2 years can register. That's why I could flex. Thank you. That's what Kent was saying as well. So thank you for clarifying. Network, Areola, Zuma, Diop, Creswell, Vlasic, Rice, Krul, Yarmolenko, Bowen, Lanzini. I don't think Bowen will start. I don't think Rice will start. Yeah, and I don't think Zuma will start. Good afternoon, Simon. I hope you're well. Nick, Krul and Lanzini as defensive mids today. Yeah, I think you could be there. Russ, but you've got 5 subs to use. Yeah, and I've used 4 of the 5. So I think we're going to see a lot of changes tonight, especially if we're winning comfortably. Dan, more chance of Moyes playing Sunny Delight. You never know, mate. Nick, disappointed not to see Ashby. Yeah. I mean, there's Ashby, there's Ekwa, there's Forsan or Forson, however you want to pronounce his name. There's still quite a lot of youngsters there that are kind of, and Ashby's had first team experience as well. Hammer it. Unbiased, obviously, but I want to see Lanzini back in the first team. I think he will. Fremmer, Kral and Manu could work. I agree. I do agree with that. I think Alese over Baptiste, possibly. But it's Baptiste that seems to be Moyes is the one that is looking at. Like I said earlier, 10 times in the senior squad that I didn't realise he made double figures. But yeah, you could be right. Could be Baptiste as well. Kaiser, need to see more of Vlasic and Kral. Totally agree. Russ, I reckon Areola, Soufal, Diop, Dawson, Creswell, Kral, Souček, Vlasic, Masuaku, Lanzini, and Yarmolenko. Of those, questioning the Diop one because of Sunday. Souček, I don't think Souček will start. I think it'll be Noble. But the rest, yeah. Good afternoon, Law. I don't think we'll see any of the youth starting tonight. If we can't get a good lead, there may be a few in the second half. Yeah, you might be right. Gary, I think we will sell Lanzini overseas in January. No, I don't know. I think there are other players that are due to go before he goes, mate. Steve, Areola, Soufal, Diop, Dawson, Masuaku, Noble, Lanzini, Kral, Vlasic, Yarmolenko, Perkins. Of those, like I said, Diop, Dawson, they've started most of the, if not all of the Europa League games. Masuaku, Noble, Lanzini, Kral. Yeah, I agree. I agree with those. Perkins could be the surprise. There is no Antonio tonight, people. Udaraja, let's get your comment up. I feel Moyes will not take the risk by playing the youngsters, especially in defence, along with a shaky Dawson. Well, that's a good shout. So I agree with you there. Even though I put Dawson and Baptiste together. Hit that like button. I forgot. No, David. Can you hit the like button for me, people? That'd be appreciated. Gordon, 5 at the back on Sunday. So any of them starts today will play Sunday too. Good point. Eamon, how Yarma still gets minutes for us is a mystery. The guy is stealing a living. Hope we get rid of him in January. There is talk about him going off in January. I did have the story, but I didn't prepare for it today, so I'll talk about it later in the week. Jamie, my friend watches the under-23s most weeks, and he thinks Oko Flex, Ekwa, and Baptiste are the best youth players in his opinion. Ekwa is great. We got him from Chelsea. Another Declan Rice in the making. Baptiste, totally agree. Oko Flex, totally agree. Absolutely. Yarmolenko always looks injured. Pick up Stel. Thank you, Simon. Jordan, Jamie Pack, not sure why Oko Flex. Well, it was explained earlier because he's not eligible. Jamie Pax, just want to see Vlasic and Yaba, and there's speculation that Lanzini may start. But I want him to play unless he can't. Uh, just want to see Vlasic and Yama, and there's speculation that Lanzini may start as well. But I want him to play unless he's playing against City. Then put in whoever he's replacing. Yeah, I think Lanzini will start tonight. Right, people, that's your lot. 50 minutes. It always goes on longer than it should do. Thank you very much. Much appreciated for bearing with me. I think the youths need to. Let's see what happens tonight. Let's see what happens. Do not be surprised if we get at least one starting. I suggested maybe it's going to be Baptiste. Others have suggested it could be Perkins. Antonio's not there. Did I say that already? Whatever happens, do join us later for the watch along. They always end up being a good laugh. We'll try and commentate on the games as well. But so please do watch us. Do come and join us. I think we're starting at something like 4:30, 4:45, something like that. So do join us for the watch along. There'll be a review after. There'll be shows tomorrow as well, end of the week and so on. So thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Much appreciated. And we'll see you all later.